What's up, Frederick? What's up, Thomas? Hey! Welcome to the pre-show of Soapbox Sunday. My friend Vince dubbed this the pre-show. He said this is one of his favorite parts of the show, so I'll take that. Are you? Hey, Marshella! My guest is on! Yay! Folks, if you are looking for some inspiration, you have come to the right place. Yes, indeed. You guys are all trickling in here. Folks, it's 24 days in to 2021. How you feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good, especially after the 20th. So, yeah, folks, I gotta tell you, it's been a really good week. It rained like crazy here yesterday. We're supposed to get more of it, but, you know, we always need the rain here in SoCal. What's up, my girl, Khadijah? Look at that. You are repping the Chucks and Pearls. I saw it. You and those angels of yours. Yes, indeed. I gotta tell you, I am happy about today's show. My friend of years. Hey, Sean! My friend ever since high school, Lance. He has been so fruitful in my life, and he married this incredible woman that is just going to bless us with her testimony today. So I will be introducing her to my audience and to the world. What's up, Sean? Good to see you. How you hanging down there? Are you still in the southwest part? I want to tell people where you are. Somewhere on the west coast. All this good stuff. I gotta tell you, my brother's theme music that he did for my show never gets old. It's like every time I hear this for the first time. But, oh, nice to see you too, Sean. Tell Ramon I said hello. And he needs to get an Instagram account so he can watch live. All right, folks, welcome to Soapbox Sunday. I am Jermaine Taylor. Folks, you ever run across a post on social media that you find yourself revisiting over and over and over again? It's something about that post that's resonating with you in that moment. It's agreeing with you. The message that's coming out of that post is touching you. So you find yourself going back to it to get that feeling over and over again because, you know, you're in a somewhat of an uncertain place. Well, my guest today had that effect on me. I got to tell you, she posted something. We'll talk about the specifics of the post a little bit later in the interview. But in that particular moment, I was somewhat sinking into this malaise. It's kind of a dark spot, I guess, because of the dump that we're living in and everything like that. And her words, it was actually a video post that was on Facebook, just gave me all that I needed in that moment. And I had already reached out to her prior to that to see if she would be interested in being on the show. But in that moment, it was confirming that, oh my God, she has to get on here because if I know she touched me, she can touch many others. And come to find out, boy, I got to tell you, her friends and all of her fans, they've been like, oh my God, she's going to be on. She's an amazing person. Fred, you can attest to that. She's a cancer survivor that has managed to use her weakest and most vulnerable moments to strengthen other people. It's an amazing thing. And she's found a way to kind of parlay it into commerce, too. And she happens to be married to a really good friend of mine from high school, Lance. I tell you, she's a vocalist. She's an actress. Let me just get her on here so you can see her face while I tell you a little bit more about her. Hold on while Marshella Griffin Larry hops on my soapbox. Marshella. Hopefully Instagram won't give us any issues. Oh, can you see me? Woo. Oh, thank you so much for that, Fred. That's my brother's theme music.
I can see myself, but I can't see Jermaine.
It says waiting, waiting, waiting. Sometimes it takes Instagram a little bit long to sort of catch up. But maybe, can you see me, Marshella? Because sometimes people say they can see me and I can't see them. But what I'm seeing right now, it says waiting for Marshella. So I may have to like take you off and dump you on. Oh my, she said, hey, oh my God.
I can't see you.
So we can see you both. Well, I can't see her. I see Lance, but I can't see you, Marshella. So let me just let it circle a little bit over and over again. And maybe the connection will catch up. It does this every now and then. Instagram can be a little wonky, and I hate that. All right, she says she's unable to join. That's kind of weird. All right, so she's not on now. So go ahead and send me the request again, Marshella, because it said you're unable to join. And we may have to do it through Lance's. If Lance is there with you, we may have to do it through him. But send me the request again because it said unable to join. So I don't know if that was me or you, but it was kind of weird. So we'll try it again. So send the request again, Marshella. I used to stress over stuff like this, folks, and I don't do it anymore. It's just not what I do. It's just what it is. Let's see here. Let me try it again. I'll try to send her a request. Yeah, see here. All right, let's try it again. There it is. Hey, Lovey!
Boom! Boom!
Technical difficulties doesn't get in our way. It does not.
That's right. And we're live. Thank you, Jesus.
How you doing, girl?
Good. How are you?
Folks, this beautiful lady on my screen that you are looking at, this beautiful vision of God, this survivor, she's a vocalist. She's an actress, a makeup artist. She's the wife of my longtime friend, Lance, and she just brings me joy. Marshella, thank you so much for jumping on the soapbox today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Of course. Wonderful. So how are you feeling? How are you, it's Wednesday. How are things feeling for you?
You know, everything's, hey, I can't complain. You know what? I could complain, but I'm not going to complain because things could always be worse, right?
They could, honey. They always could. I got to tell you, girl, you see the beauty and joy and everything. So, girl, let's just get this thing started because you have just managed. And it's interesting how we have never really physically connected, but I feel like that we already have.
I know.
It's just, there's a connection there. There's a synergy, and I really appreciate it. The post that I was actually talking about and when I was introducing you, you did it back in December, and you were getting ready to go on to, I think it was a checkup, a mammogram maybe, was it? Because you were outside the office.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you captured such a vulnerability. And I had been experiencing that because it was that time of the year I get my exam for my prostate and things like that. So you caught me like 3 days after that when I was literally waiting for my email.
Yes.
So in that moment.
The worst time.
Yes. You know, when you're feeling happy, you're in and out of faith.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
But your words agreed with me. And I was like, you know what? Whatever comes back, you got it.
That's right.
And I needed, you know what I'm saying? And I needed that in the moment. So thank you very much. You seem to just own the room wherever you go. Have you always been that way?
No, actually, I used to be really super shy when I was younger. Yeah, like scared to even speak to people. Like I would not even get up and do an Easter speech. My mom would be like, just go up there and say Jesus wept. And I'd be like, no. I was so scared. So when I was around 10, my parents were like, we need to do something to kind of help her with her confidence. So they put me in modeling school, which taught etiquette and taught just all these, basically building confidence. It wasn't even for modeling, really, that's not why they did it. But I just kind of came out of my shell after that. And then it was just like, okay, what we gonna go audition here? What we gonna do? Where are we going? What's going on?
Really?
Hey, everybody. Yeah.
What do you think it was that clicked? What were you lacking as far as confidence? Did you just need to know that other people were receiving you? Like, what was the connection you were missing prior to? Because in my mind, before I even interviewed you, I saw you as this girl who pretty much owned the room. Every time there was a microphone, you would get on it, you would sing a song. And now hearing you say that is completely different. So what was it about that experience in that modeling class that actually opened you up? Did you finally access something that you were good at and you're like, oh my God, I'm good at something and people are applauding me for it? What was it?
You know what? I think it was, they taught us not just like life skills and, modeling, but they also they did like introduction to commercials. Like they taught us, it was like commercial class and all that. And so that was the first time I was on camera, and I was doing, you know, we were doing fake commercials, mock commercials. And I was like, I really like this. And it's the first time I felt at home, and I felt like a sense of calm. So it was like, yeah, it was that finding something that I like to do, but it wasn't, and it's never been about applause, because applause makes me actually very uncomfortable. So it's like, I'm still very shy, but like, I can get up and perform, and I can get up and, you know, sing with the band and all that. But say intermission comes around and I can't go out and like talk to people, and, you know, like I'm still very like, but I love to sing. You know what I mean? So it's like, I love the performance.
That is a textbook entertainer. Oh my God, because a lot of entertainers are like that. I'm not kidding you. It's funny because the minute the lights come on, the curtain comes up, they're like, oh my God, who is this person?
Yeah.
And then when everything comes down, they withdraw. They're in their little corners around their people.
Yeah.
So that is almost textbook. Oh my God.
I'm like an introvert, extrovert. Like, it's like, I can go, but then I have to like recharge, like just go sit down somewhere and disappear for a couple days, and then I'm like back at it.
When did you know that you knew how to sing?
Singing in church. Really.
Okay.
Yeah, my whole family's in, you know, not in music, but can sing. Like my dad is a pastor. Okay. Me and my brother grew up singing, playing in the band. I played flute. My brother played the jazz band. You know, we're both in marching band. My sister sings, plays the flute, dancer. So my parents really kept us in the arts, taking classical music classes when we were younger. And because I'm from Bloomington, Indiana, where they have Indiana University, and they have the School of Music there. So there's a lot of opportunities if you live there, like for kids to go to camps, music camps and things like that. So my parents kind of kept us busy with the arts. Yeah. So, but I've never.
So that foundation that you got from your parents growing up in Bloomington, Indiana, it carried you through middle school and high school, and it only intensified, it seems, because you're pursuing your passion.
Yeah.
At what point in your evolution did you decide, you know what, this is something I can make a little doing? Was it always the main plan, or was it the fallback plan? Like, what did you major in college? Just to ask you that.
So the plan always, even when I was in school growing up, my head was in the clouds, and I wanted to be on stage somewhere. So school was, we go to college around here, up in this, you know, family, and you're going to college. So that's what that was about. So when I went to school, I still even knew that I wanted to be on stage somewhere. So I had been acting professionally, I say, from the time I was 12, you know, doing commercials and stuff. I had an agent, the whole bit. So from the time I was 12 on up. So by the time I got to college, I was like, well, I really don't want to major in theater, because I've already been studying this for years.
It was in you.
Yeah, so I said, well, let me learn the behind the scenes stuff. So I started off majoring in telecommunications, and thought maybe journalism, but I was like, I don't really like the news, you know. It was just, you know, just all over the place. I don't really want to know.
I'm not laughing at you, but I can identify, because the news used to just bore me to tears when I was growing up.
Yes.
It wasn't exciting like it is now.
No. I was just like, ooh, what can I do? And then I ended up interning at this place that I used to host videos for when I was 14. And I got an internship with them, doing, you know, being a production assistant. And then my boss got fired, and they hired me during my internship. My internship was supposed to end, but they were like, well, how about you don't go back to school right now, and you just come take over this job? So I became a producer at like 22, and was traveling like all over the world, producing educational videos for kindergarten through 12th grade.
There is a passage in the Bible that says your gift make room for you.
Will make room for you. Hello. Preach on, Jermaine.
Hush. Most folks don't think I know stuff like that. But I was like, wow, get out of here. my goodness. So when did you move out to, did you go to New York first? You came straight to LA? Like
No,
what was
so
the
I
journey?
was in Indiana.
Okay.
Then I moved to Atlanta because I was still singing throughout all this time too.
Okay. Okay.
So
Sure.
I
Sure.
went to Atlanta for a spell. I was in like a girl group and trying to do that whole thing. So I did
Mm-hmm.
like a year stint in Atlanta. Then I came back
Mm-hmm.
home to finish
Mm-hmm.
school because by then it had been a nice stretch. And I was like, let
Yeah.
me go
Yeah.
on back and go on knock this
Get
out.
the degree. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started, I became the spokesperson for Indiana University and hosted their halftime show.
Oh
So I
wow.
did that, and I was doing that for about 3 or 4 seasons before
Okay.
I moved to LA. So I moved to LA when I was in 2005. I was 31 years old.
Oh my God, we had that in common because I moved to LA at the same time. I think I
Yeah,
had just turned 30.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was kind of
Wow.
one of those things. You're not married. I don't have any kids. If I don't
Yeah.
do it now, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it, you know? And
Yeah.
so I just kind of packed up everything, bought a one-way ticket. My parents sent me stuff, like I boxed up everything, but they sent me like a box at a time. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
my
Yeah.
little sister came out here too because she was pursuing a dance career.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so we were both out here just living poor in a one-bedroom apartment. Uh, no
I was on a couch.
furniture, riding the bus in Van Nuys. I mean, just live, just struggling.
Girl, no shame. I
Some
was
of
on the
us,
couch for the first 6 months. I
oh
had a car. I didn't know how well it was going to get me around because every now and again it would start to knock.
yes, yes, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I came out here having, I think I had only seen LA maybe twice before I moved out here.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all blind faith. So I can attest to that.
Yeah.
But it seemed that you had enough padding on your resume to give you a nice jump start when you got out here. Because a lot of people come out here just green. So you had a good amount of, I can do this, just get me in the room when you got here, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
you have that and you have this resume and you can't
Mm-hmm.
even get an internship at E Entertainment, or you can't get your foot
That's
door
another show.
because you don't have an
That's another.
uncle that
That's another show.
yeah, yeah. So it's like resume doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't even
Yeah,
matter. It's all who you know.
right.
So even if
I just realized that what I had, as far as my training in New York, it gave me the confidence.
yes, exactly.
Getting the opportunity and the chance, that was a skill unto
Yeah.
itself. Like you said, knowing the right people,
Mm-hmm.
seeing the casting director 50, 11 times when
Right.
she decided, good,
Right. Exactly.
So I
Yeah.
just knew that I could do it. As long as I knew that I could do it, if I got the opportunity, bam, it would happen.
Mm-hmm.
This whole journey of yours, we talked about all the good, but you had to experience some of the more uncertain moments, and they pretty much shape who you are.
Yes.
That's what you end up bringing to the stage, your whole life experience, because it's what people are feeding off of, the realness, the journey of you.
Mm-hmm.
When was the first time, if you can remember, ever hearing about cancer? Were you little, or were you like when did it, like, cancer? Oh my God, that's a scary thing. When do you remember hearing that word and associating with such a struggle? Do you have that memory?
So my grandfather, my mom's father, died of lung cancer.
Okay.
And but we didn't have a history of breast cancer in our family at all. But I will say, the first time I found a lump, like a pea-size, I mean, literally like a little pea-sized lump, was when I was 29 years old.
Really?
So 29 was the first time I actually had a mammogram because I was doing a self-check at home. I just always been taught to check yourself. So I was like, wow, something hurts in there, And it was, I mean like a pebble, like tiny, but I could feel it. And so my doctor sent me to go get a mammogram. I was like, well, you're too young, really, but let's go check it out. And it was nothing. And they were like, oh, it's nothing. You seem like a person that it looks like you're just prone to getting cysts. So I've gotten cysts since I was 29, had lumps that were always benign. So I've always known about cancer, but never thought I was going to get cancer because I don't have a history. We didn't have a history in our family, and they're always benign. They're just lumps, right? So when I found out I had cancer, this, when it became cancer, I was like shocked. Even my doctor that had cut out lumps before, because I've had lumpectomies before of them just taking stuff out. And he was like, I was shocked. Like I honestly didn't think that it was going to be cancer. So I've always known about cancer and always had it in my mind, get checked. So I've always been very, very.
So you had an awareness.
I
Yeah,
had
you were
an
responsible.
awareness,
Okay.
and
Okay.
always, I'm always getting checked for everything, just to make sure, because you just don't know. So, yeah, I mean, and that really saved my life because I'm constantly, staying on top of things and,
What brought you to that though? Because was it that one day when you just randomly felt that lump, or are you that type of person that if you hear about something that a lot of women are going through, you might want to just implement it into your routine at some times? Like,
yeah.
what brought you to, okay, all right.
You mean the first time I found that lump at 29?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It was just kind of like, okay, when they say, oh, we need to monitor this, but you don't need to come back for another 10 years.
Okay.
So I was just monitoring, just, doing myself breast exams because, I just kind of, like you said, I see things and I'm like, oh, I need to be checked. Oh, you need to get this, all that, so I'm glad that I do that, especially considering a lot of the things that I've been diagnosed with, I caught them.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Now, the day of your diagnosis, sweetie, and this is a weird question, but I just have to know, do you remember what day of the week it was?
When I got diagnosed?
Yeah, do you remember the day of the week that it was? Like, was it a Monday,
I remember the day. It was September 19th of 2017. And I remember.
Did you get a phone call? Was it an email? Was it a text?
So I got a phone call from my doctor. I was supposed to. So I had, they went ahead and did surgery and cut out all the suspicious stuff that they saw. So we didn't know it was cancer or not. They were going to, you go and get a biopsy. Instead of them just taking a little bit and testing it, he decided we're just going to cut everything out that we see, just get it over with, so you don't have to come back if it is something. So did surgery. I was supposed to go see him the next week. He called me 2 days after. It was like 2 days after, and he said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you. He said, but I'm going out of town. And he said, he's a Christian, my surgeon. He's like, I could not go out of town without letting you know, having you sit around, basically have you sit around waiting till a week from now.
Anxiety. Yeah.
He said, because when I cut you open, he said, I saw it right away. And he said, it's very aggressive. He sent it off they have some type of rapid testing that he sent it off for. And so he was like, we've got to move fast. We said, it's looking like between stage 2, stage 3. He said, but I'll know more later. But I was just like, okay. I just remember I was like, what? And then I just got a notebook. I just said, okay, Lord. I got a pen and I got a notebook. And I said, okay, tell me everything. And so I started writing everything down, as he told me, and, what, just loosely what he thought we were going to have to do and all that. And what, so it was like, I made a video like that day to document it. Like I just.
So you went into mental prepared mode.
Yeah.
You knew that you had to get it in here in order to fight it in the body.
Yes.
You automatically went there.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
There was no meltdown. You just knew that you was going to have to do a plan of attack already.
Well, I was melting down at the same time.
Okay.
It was like together, but it was like,
no, I get that.
Okay.
Yeah. You can be productive and melt down. Yeah. I'm good at that.
Yeah. I was like, I need to document this so I remember. And so I just turned on my camera and was just like, okay, it's September, whatever. I just got a call, blah, 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 blah. And just was like, it's almost like you have to minister to yourself. You have to talk to yourself like you would be talking to someone else, like encourage yourself to help you
Yeah.
get through things. So that's
Yeah.
kind of my thing. It's like a therapy thing, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
And that's actually a grown, a mature thing to get to, because I remember back in the day before I even came into my own, I used to always try to find the quickest person to talk to so I can just dump on them and try to
right.
get through it. And then when I got older, when you couldn't access people as quick as I, possibly could, because I was way away from them, I'm, miles away across the country.
Yeah.
It's like you have to take all the lessons that you've learned over your life in church, in Sunday school, all these people who poured into you,
Yeah.
and call it up,
Yes.
and talk to yourself in that moment and get yourself off that ledge.
Right. Right.
Because you're vulnerable to a whole lot of things in that moment. But if you're not fortified with all that knowledge that you can find a way to access, you'll lose your mind.
That's the truth.
And it sounds like that's what you did.
Yeah. But what's
All right,
crazy is you don't know, I didn't tell you how I found out, how I even went to find out and found out I had cancer, right? I was at a fertility specialist, trying to see how many eggs I had left because I was 43 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to see, me and Lance trying to see what our options were at our age, because
Right. Yeah.
I've never had any kids or anything. So it's like, okay, let's go test this out or whatever. So because I have had a stroke previously, I had a stroke when I was 40. So with high blood pressure and all that. So the doctor was like, the only way that I will consider helping you to get pregnant is if you go get a clean bill of health from all your doctors. So that's how the going back to get an extra check, an extra mammogram and all that even started. And so it just so happens, and that was less than a year prior, I had already had my mammogram and stuff, and there was nothing there. So that shows you the cancer grew in less than a year. So it showed up when I went to go get, check. So it's like God just like works everything out. If I hadn't went.
Isn't it amazing how things just sort of line up the way they're supposed to?
I wouldn't have known.
You think you're on this wild maze, but you're actually on the path that you're supposed to be on, because this had to happen in order for that to happen.
Exactly.
Ah.
Crazy. It's crazy, but it's like you see the blessing in it. You're just like, that was really rough time. But then it's like,
did you ever blame yourself after the diagnosis? Was there any blame that you put on yourself? Like, I could have done this, I could have done that. Was it that? And I mean, I know cancer is something that you can't catch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, was there any blame that you access to your own habits and routines? Honestly speaking?
No.
Okay.
It's like, I wasn't a smoker, or, like all the things that they say, like, you need to watch, to keep you from cancer. Like, I can't think of anything that would have brought it on. I've always had issues with, my ovaries and, just reproductive stuff. Like, I've always had those type of issues anyway, it's like I was born with them. I don't know. So yeah, I know. And then my mother ended up having breast cancer. She's had it twice. So she had it before me. Then I got it 6 years later. And then she just recently had it again. But we're the only ones with the history now. So we don't know where it came from, Yeah. Food.
Now, you had a helpmate to get you through this thing. Is he around right now?
Yeah.
Where's he at?
He's right here.
Let him slide over a little bit. Let me see that face. Slide over here, Mr. Larry. Let me see that face. Where you at?
Tell me this. Does this work if I turn it or no?
No, that doesn't. No, you're sideways now.
I didn't think so.
Okay, cool. All right.
Scooch on in.
What's up, partner? Look at you giving me the squint.
What's going on?
Man, look at you, folks. I got to tell you, this brother right here, we've been kicking it since, 1980, 88, 89?
At least.
It's been a long time. Liz, let me tell you this before I even get you started, before we get started with the questions with you. And you don't know this. I had a whole lot of conversations in my head growing up in high school because there was a lot of doubt. I'm trying to navigate myself in this small town that we both grew up in, trying to suppress who I was, trying to be all this. But the one thing that I always had the issues with that I never ever told anybody was me being a dark-skinned black. And I'll never forget, Before you got there, I met your mom first, but I had met you, and I was hearing about this new guy that was in town. And I was like, well, I haven't met him, and I knew he had two first names. I was like, God, it's an interesting guy. So, and I remember that. And when I first saw you, Lance, and this was how I knew that I was like, he's going to be my friend. You had so much confidence. And I said, and he's dark. I'm not kidding you.
It's chocolate.
That gate, it assured me. I don't know what it was, and I get emotional thinking about it because, you know, even within our own people, we can have colorism issues, and I often heard it. But the way that you just knew how to command the room and everybody wanted to be your friend, and I was like, and he's dark. And it was as if, it confirmed so many things for me as a 14, 15-year-old kid. So you gave that to me, and I didn't even have language for it. I just knew that there was something about you that I really appreciated, and we found each other at the right time. Oh, don't cry.
Don't cry.
No, because that's what it was. I'm not kidding you, and I never forget it. So it was that happened for me. So you did that for me without even knowing. And like I said, I didn't even have language. I didn't know what it was, but I really appreciate you and I appreciate God for bringing you in when He did. You've been a good person, my friend.
Always appreciated your friendship too.
Let's get back to the heart of the conversation. You were with her the whole entire journey.
Yes.
Were you trying to hide the way you were really feeling about what she was going on in order to appear strong? Or did you pretty much, if you were feeling it, you let her know what was going on? Like, what was that process for you?
I would like to say something earth-shattering, but I will just tell you that, you know, I just walked into it just one step at a time. I think part of it is being from the country, raising livestock and gardens and things, and just kind of taking things with a deep breath and faith in God. The quick thing about our story is we were together earlier when we were first in Los Angeles, and you know, I left and moved back to Texas, got married to someone else, and everything came all the way back around. And so it's kind of one of those things where when you know that you met your person early in life and somehow through circumstances things slipped away, and then God brings everything back around, you just know, and you just have faith that like there's more to this story. So I just really never had any doubt. Faith in God and just trusting that, you know, her faith and her strength and the way she carried everything also gave me a lot of just hope and strength. And so, no, it really wasn't a, you know, research or try to figure out what I needed to do. It was just really living it naturally the way that it came.
You got to it. You got to it. What were you learning anything new about yourself? Because obviously this was a new experience for you. So, you know, in hindsight, did you like have any realizations like, wow, I'm a lot more methodical and thought than I thought I was? I mean, was there anything that you gained from this experience that you can share right now?
I would just simply say that, you know, all of my life experiences to that point, you know, the good things, the bad things, probably even more, especially the bad and challenging things, were all really just lessons and teachings and proving grounds for things that would come later in life. And so, you know, once you go through trials and tribulations, it kind of provides a certain steadiness that allows you to kind of face the next incline or the next mountain that's in front of you a little bit better. And so I feel like a lot of the challenges and things that I faced away from her and through life and college and our high school days all the way leading
got you
up
to that moment. I brought you there. It's fun. There was this one post and you guys put it because I follow you. I don't troll you, Marshella, but I look at all your stuff. And the one where you were shaving her head, Lance. And I was like, wow, that is a moment right there. That's like a solidarity. And I kept thinking that every time because I revisit that post every so often. And every time I revisit it, I hear that song from India. I read, da, 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 I am not my hair. And I hear that song as I'm watching that post. And I was like, look at this right here. Through thick and thin, they are in it together. There is no shame. And it seems very surface, but moments like that, they help people. They do. So you guys are just a testament to, you know, doing it together, fighting it together, not abandoning one another. and just learning how to just go even deeper when the trials are before you guys. The fear that it might come back. How do you deal with that?
Oh gosh. I post videos.
Oh,
You know, that's what I did while I was in chemo. Like I would be hooked
yeah.
up to the IV and I'd go in the bathroom at the clinic and I would like
Mhm.
dance, you know, and
Yeah.
record it. Like I just have to you have to keep your mind in a state of positivity. Even no matter what you're going through, you should
Right.
constantly praise God for what he's doing and what he's going to do in your life, because everything
Right.
is in his plan. So it may look like you're in this humongous storm right now, but there's always rainbows after storms,
Yeah.
right? You don't
So
know
you
how long.
triumph the fear by just overdoing what you normally do, just trying to douse the fear. It might still be there, but
Yes.
you're going to be productive on top of the fear to sort of drown it out, is what
Yes,
you're
you're
saying.
gonna be
Yeah.
productive. I kept you know, writing. I did, you know, little comedy spoofs, you know, songs.
Hmm.
I was shooting my little silly videos with my
Yes.
friends.
And the
And
girl can sing, y'all. She's done all these tracks. Oh my God. I was listening to that one track you did for this realty company.
oh,
Was that your dad,
that's
your
my
brother? I was
brother.
like,
That's my brother.
where are the contracts, Hollywood? You got it right.
I wish.
What
I
is your
wish.
status today? What is your status today? When did you what happened this
So,
past week?
this past week, I got a
Mhm.
clean bill. No
Yes.
cancer coming back. Everything looks
God
good.
be the glory.
To God,
Praise God.
to God be the glory. He was, yeah. My doctor was like, yeah, you seem to be doing great. Everything looks great. All your blood tests, everything. You know, you look all right. Just
When
keep doing what you're doing.
Lance sort of tipped me off before I saw the post, so I was actually expecting to see it every time I would
Oh,
go on your timeline.
yes,
But when I saw it, I was like, yes, indeed, this conversation could happen at a better time. I was
yes,
so happy.
yes.
Thank God.
Because it's so
Yes, indeed.
stressful, like waiting.
It is.
It's
It
like,
really is.
it's like you go get the mammogram. So you wait on the
Mhm.
mammogram, and you got to
Yeah,
get the ultrasound. You wait on the
yeah,
ultrasound because the ultrasound could say something that the mammogram
yeah,
didn't. Then you get
yeah,
all your blood work, and so
yeah.
that's kind of like the final thing. You're like,
I get it.
oh gosh, you
And
know.
depending on where you are with the world, especially right now during COVID, when you're already predisposition with anxiety,
Yes.
going into it, then you got to go through that. Because I had went through, like I said, in December.
Yeah.
I was like, my God, you must think I am a soldier from way back.
Right.
I'm not kidding you, because it's like I got to deal with all this on top of wearing this mask, trying to make sure you don't get close to me, you don't get close to me, and I'm
Yes.
waiting on this report. It
Yes.
was a lot.
Yes.
So I totally get it. So you have managed to parlay this whole journey into a bit of commerce.
Yeah, a little bit.
Chemo
Little
swag.
chemo swag. Littlechemoswag.com. Go get you some.
How did that happen? Like, how did that even come about that you find that you were like looking good while feeling bad? And you're like, wait a minute, I got an idea here. Like, what was
So
the evolution behind that?
so I'm up here, I'm bald. Every piece of hair on my body is falling out everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chemotherapy is no joke, okay? Losing my eyebrows, losing everything. And
It's funny. I'm going to mention something. I had a friend who went through that. And she's like, Jermaine, I have to go on YouTube and learn how to draw eyebrows now.
I went and got my microbladed. I had to end up getting mine microbladed because they just didn't grow back.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, you do what you got to do, right?
So were you getting like compliments on the way you look and you decided to like parlay it into a business? Like, how did that happen with people?
So I was, you know, you don't feel attractive when you're going through this. You're
Yeah.
sick, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm a person, I've always liked makeup and I like, you know, just a bold lip and, you know, a wing liner or just something, you know.
Mhm.
And so I found myself just feeling frumpy going to chemo. My chemo sessions are like 5 hours long. So you go there and you sit there and you're there just all day, just this stuff pumping through you, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed that like Lance was buying me these cute little beanies. And like I
Exactly.
got a
Remember that.
My Little Pony beanie,
Uh-huh.
a Winnie the Pooh beanie, like a bunch of different ones. So I would wear them and people would just be, I'd go in there because you're in there with a bunch of, you know, other people and they'd be like, oh my God, your hat's so cute. Where'd you get it? I'm like, oh, you know,
Uh-huh.
got it this way. And so, oh God, I wish I had, had like that, So then I started
Right.
sitting at home and like trying to come up with cute outfits to wear to make myself feel good because I just felt
Yeah.
yucky. And I was like, I want to be comfortable, but I still want to look nice. So
Mm-hmm.
I started just kind of throwing on my red lipstick like before, just trying to basically keep who I was. It's because you can lose
Yeah.
yourself, you can lose who you
Yeah.
are and all that. And I
No
said,
doubt. Yeah.
I gotta stay, I
Yeah.
gotta stay the course. So I just
Mm-hmm.
said, I was sitting there in the chair one day, leaned back, listening to Spotify, and I was just like, oh God, I wish, I could look good even though I don't feel good. And that's how that whole
Mm.
tagline came up. And I was like, I bet there's other people that are feeling the same way, that are going through, like, you don't want
Yeah.
to look crazy. So I thought, first I was like, I'm just going to make like t-shirts, So I have one
Sure.
on right now. I don't
Sure.
know. Can you see?
Let me
Yeah,
see.
keep fighting.
I see it. I see it. Look. Ha! Ha!
Don't look at my small titty. The,
Chemoswag.com,
yeah,
folks. She's giving us
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
live
yeah.
modeling session here.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
I started off t-shirts. I started thinking, then
Mhm.
beanies. I was like, I'll do t-shirts, beanies, with
Right.
uplifting messages and all that. And then I was like, no, let me do clothes. Like, and then
Yeah.
anybody can shop there. Anybody that wants to be comfortable and cute
Mm-hmm.
can shop at Chemo Swags.
Yeah.
It's not just for cancer patients. It's for
Yeah.
anybody. I've got all kinds of cool stuff on there.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been
And that's a
laughing at
beautiful concept because that's a theme that I hear with a lot of people that are going through it. They just don't feel attractive. They
exactly.
still want to hold on to their femininity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they wear things, do the face up,
Yes.
have the cute little head wraps. There is an
Exactly.
empowerment from looking good because you end up, it's sort of psychosomatic.
It is. It
So
is.
that's an
It is.
amazing way that you
And
parlayed it.
Black Panther was out during the time I was bald. So I was like walking around like yeah, I did this on purpose. People were coming to me talking about, who cut your hair? And I was like, Chemo did. Thank you.
Real quick, I see Mrs. Montgomery on here. Hi, Miss Clara. Oh my God, I
Hi,
hadn't seen you in
Mom.
years.
Hi, Mom.
I gotta tell you, we didn't have very many black teachers in the town that we grew up in, and she came a little bit later. But I was like, oh my God, look at her! I gotta tell you, this is good. Yay, Miss Clara's on. I love her. God bless you, sweetie. So, we talked about COVID a little bit earlier. Have you noticed, or have you found where your routine right now of just trying to maintain your health, even your mind, your mental health? Are you having to walk a bit more of a fine line right now? Are you checking in with yourself a lot more mentally? Because there's a lot going on outside of your house
Yes.
on top of what's going on within you.
Yes.
So what's going on with that? Like, what are the challenges of having COVID COVID, being our norm right now,
Yeah.
and you're dealing with your cancer?
So me not being able to really go like I used to,
Mm-hmm.
like Lance
Mm-hmm.
goes, does all the grocery shopping, does all that, because
Yeah.
you just can't chance
Sure.
with your, and I have an autoimmune disease too, so it's like
Yeah, you don't want to compromise
I
anything.
can't
Yeah.
chance anything. So it's been a lot of that, being locked inside. But I'll tell you what's hilarious is that when I was going through cancer, I was off work for a year. So I was at home for a whole year. And Lance worked
Wow.
from home. So we like hear about other couples like going crazy in the pandemic because they're not used to being around each other. We're already, look, God already prepared us for that. Like we're
Yeah.
together all the time. So this is like nothing.
It ain't nothing new.
It's
Yeah.
nothing. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So we stuck together every day. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Are you modifying your social? I know you share a lot, and you're pretty much an open book, and because of that, we're the beneficiaries, and we thank you.
Yeah.
But do you sometimes find that you have to modify your social media intake just to make sure that you're okay up here? Because oftentimes I'll get on it too much. I'm like, I need to reduce my screen time so that I can stay a little bit sane, especially in the thick of the political wars we were having last year.
Yeah.
But I was one to jump on it. So
Yeah.
do you have to balance your diet with social media just to make sure you're okay mentally, or you know how to filter that pretty much on your own?
I think that I filter pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not one that, looks at, like I have some friends that, that they can look at social media and be like, oh God, look at what they have. Or, you know what I mean? They don't realize they're doing it, but it makes them feel bad about themselves because they're looking at what other people, oh, they look so perfect. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that social media is, it's like, yeah, you look, people get dressed up and they take a picture. And then
Well, you
once
give
they
them a
see it,
snapshot of what you want them to think your
yes,
life is that day.
yes,
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 indeed.
yes. And so
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, I try to put positive stuff out there, but I
Mm-hmm.
also want people to know, yeah, I have down days too. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
everything's not always great, but you know,
Yeah.
you break down and then you
Yeah.
put that armor of God back on and go back out there.
Right. And I think that's what resonates me with what's resonated you with me, because I feel like you give us an honest depiction of what's really going on. I get it helps to know that I somewhat know you,
Yeah.
but everything isn't always rosy when you post it. You see those down moments, those moments where you're feeling uncertain,
Yeah.
but yet you put forth your best face.
Yes.
You know, stuff like that strengthens me. It just does. I don't know. I guess I'm just wired that way.
No.
What are the gifts that not chemo, but that cancer has given you? Like, what did it make better about you?
Gosh. Well, first, let me give a shout
Mhm.
out to Frederick on there.
What's up, Frederick?
Because Frederick, like,
In conversation.
I'm telling you, Frederick, we used to work together years ago
He
at
told me.
McCann Erickson Advertising. And Frederick works for Stand Up to Cancer. And like, literally, I had just been diagnosed and he had reached out to me and was like, because he saw my post.
Oh,
And
wow.
was like, oh, they're looking for, people for a campaign. So actually, during my whole bout with cancer, like I've done stuff with Stand Up to Cancer because of
You see them
Frederick.
all over. Folks, follow her, Marshella Griffin Larry. She's all over Facebook. You'll see those PSAs.
I'm telling you, and it's all because of Frederick, and that helped me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry because he really helped me, and he doesn't
No,
really
seriously.
understand that
You are overcome by the words of your testimony, girl. So whenever you can share your words, there's an overcoming in that. I don't know why I'm so biblical today. I guess you just bring out the preacher in me. Let it out, sweet. We're all a family.
It really helped. It really helped because I felt part of something. I had access to research and access to things that I didn't know about. It made me feel beautiful, doing those pictures with my bald head. It gave me a confidence in, with my cancer. So he really helped me with that. So I just wanted to say that before I forgot.
Well, there's a certain normalcy that you're missing when you get diagnosed, I believe. And I haven't ever been diagnosed. I feel like you're trying to hold on to your life. And when people like that present opportunities, it's like, oh God, I still have a life. I can still be this person. And so it sounds like that's exactly what he did for you. He made sure that you could still have that face to be on television. You could still use your voice. Oh God, look at that. See, I am just loving him. Frederick and I, we recently met like last year. And he's become a touchstone. He's a supporter of Soapbox Sunday, and I'm a supporter of In Conversation. And one of these days, he's going to get my palate used to this vegan cooking.
He can cook. I still use, he gave me a black eyed pea recipe. And this was, I'm talking 14, 15 years ago. And I still use that black eyed pea recipe. It's delicious.
Does it have hog in it?
I don't think no. Well, you can make it with hog.
And that's where you lost me. I got to have a little salt joke. Well, I can deal with that.
Yes.
That's just the country in me.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with hog maw, a little hog maw. Ham hock.
What's coming up for you, Marshella? What do you got going on in 2021? You guys both, Lance, you too. What do you guys happening? What's happening this year?
So during this pandemic, I told you I was shy. I told you I was shy. So,
which I don't believe, but go ahead.
But I am shy. So I write music, but I've never been confident enough to put my own music out there. Like I've sang in bands and sang other people's music. But this pandemic, I've been working on an album and writing everything and recording everything. So, it kind of pushed me. Lance pushed me, and then my other friend John O. They were like, "Why aren't you doing that? Why not? Like, what are you doing right now?" Because I got laid off from my job last January, and so it's like, well, why not? Why don't you put a full project out? And I was just like,
That's the
I don't know, I'm scared. I don't, and then I just started doing it. And then I'm just like recording and writing, and look at his face.
I'm just laughing because like I'll go to bed and like I'll wake up
uh,
and she'll like play 3 new songs for me.
yeah. It's like she sort of like to downplay herself. And I'm thinking, you're downplaying all this, but yet I see all this productivity that's coming out of you. So maybe that's just your way of getting through it. You like to downplay it while you're on the cool hustle. Is that how you do it?
I don't know. I just have so much stuff. Like I do this. I'm like a Jackie of all trades, and I do it because I like it, not necessarily because I think it's super great. You know what I mean? It's just like something that fulfills me, and I do it for the love of it. And but normally I don't put stuff out there for everyone to see it all the time.
Oh, well, well, this is the era we're living in. There's no more showing up the auditions, hoping I'll get the job.
Yes.
You go up there, you put the work in, you do it yourself, and it's like, here, this is what I've done.
Yes.
What can you do with it?
Yes.
It sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Marshella, Lance, you guys have made this episode of Soapbox everything I wanted it to be.
We thank you.
I'm not kidding you. I was in here thinking, I'm like, how am I going to access this goal? And sometimes you just have to just trust the process and let the organicness just happen on its own.
Yes.
And that is exactly what happened. Thank you so much for jumping on the Soapbox today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
you right there. Let me just tell you a little something. And I'm not going to cry.
Well, join me. I'm already doing
I know.
Join me.
But you were talking earlier how you just end up finding people at the right time.
Yes. Yep.
My God, today. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, hallelujah. Praise the Lord. that is the goal for God to use us to help others.
Totally.
That's what it's all about.
That's it. Thank you so much for jumping on the Soapbox, guys, and I will chat with you soon. Have a great week.
You
guys.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Folks, that was the Larrys, my friend Lance of many years and his beautiful wife, Marshella. I tell you, I knew that they were going to be a dynamite story, a dynamite interview. And it is my wish that you guys felt just a portion of what I was feeling that entire time that I had those two beautiful people on Soapbox Sunday. Folks, I will see you next week. Thank you so much for hopping on the Soapbox with Jermaine Taylor. And folks, it's going to get better and better and better as these episodes go by. Thank you guys. Bye.